Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Jonathan Cohn, and today I have a book review of the book The Honor of the Queen by David Weber, the second book in the Honor Harrington series. This is a military sci-fi series. The first book, On Basilisk Station, I read last month, and I reviewed it. I highly enjoyed this book. It's not a favorite of mine, necessarily, although one of the characters in this book made it onto my favorite characters of the year list, and that's Honor Harrington. But the book I thought was very well done, and I feel the exact same way about book two. I think it's very well done. I think book one has a better premise. Book two's premise is a little bit more generic. But book one's premise was a little bit more interesting. But I think book two's very well executed. I think that everything about this book was executed properly. I think that David Weber does a great job of delving into deep topics and themes and writing good dialogue and great scenes without it feeling preachy, without it feeling too one-sided. He presents other arguments well, while still pretty obviously having his own. The big thing in this book is that Honor is sent with her crew on the Fearless to this new these two planets, which are having a little bit of strife, and both of these planets have this kind of religious beliefs that's kind of from the Bible, but has really been skewed and is really anti-woman and has really bad gender roles. And the way that Honor has to navigate all of this, because in their culture, it's wrong for her to be captain, and she has to keep them as allies, some of these planets, but at the same time, she has to uphold her principles, and she has to uphold the honor of the queen that she represents. And so, Honor, this is kind of a play on words, because it's Honor Harrington is her name, and the name of the book is The Honor of the Queen. Honor has to do a lot of work to keep everybody happy, because her crewmates get angry, and the people on the planet, and everyone's angry, and nobody's happy with this situation. And I think that David Weber did an excellent job of making you empathize with the characters. The first book did something I don't think I've seen any book do before, at least no adult book do, and that was make the audience empathize with the goody two-shoes. I am so sick and tired of books that have to have anti-heroes, books that have to make you cheer for the guy who's kind of morally gray, who sometimes makes the right decision. No, I want my good guy who's gonna do the right thing no matter what, because he's a good guy and because he has morals and standards. And that's why I liked Honor Harrington in this book. And they keep that same thing here, and they make you empathize with her. Usually you don't empathize with the goody two-shoes character, you do. And then in this book, you empathize with her because she's in such a bad situation, and you're like, there's no way to win here. You can only lose. And you empathize so well with her in this book. And there are some scenes at the beginning of the book that really stuck out to me. And of course, the end of the book is end-loaded with action. It's just, the end of the book's just a explosion of action. And I don't care for sci-fi action. I'm sorry. Never cared for it in Star Wars, never cared for it in Star Trek. Sci-fi action's not my thing. Fantasy action I'm a little bit more into, but sci-fi action I'm just like, I'll just blow through this. But there's a couple of scenes in the middle where some things happen to some members of Honor's crew that are horrific and just gut-wrenching. And Weber wrote those scenes beautifully. The way the characters talked about what happened to them, the way they open up, the way that Honor has to deal with the situation, the way that the characters have to rein Honor in a little bit, the way it was written was just beautiful. Those couple of scenes alone make this book worth it. I would say that the beginning of the book as a whole was really strong. I thought the middle of the book had some wavering moments, but those scenes in particular were the best scenes in the book. They were just so superbly written. And then the end was just a bunch of action that I don't care for. So if you like action, for sure you'll like the end of the book, so you may even rate it higher than me. I give the book like a 7 out of 10, which is roughly about in the same range as what I gave the first book. I think that David Weber is writing a good series. I think that he's just not hit what I think is going to make what's great about it. This book is about the same length. It's about 400 pages long, and it did not need to be 400 pages. He could have cut a lot of the action at the end and maybe even some of the scenes in the middle down and made it about a 300-page book or a 280-page book. I think that would have made the pace faster and made it more pulpy. Instead, this feels like he was trying to tell this big novel, and it's just not there. And I've heard that in book 4 is when not only does the length increase a lot, but also that's when he goes bigger and tells a better story. That's when it's like it levels up. So I'm excited to get to the level up point. Book 3 is shorter, which I like. I think it works. It works as either really short or really long. This in the middle stuff, I don't think it works particularly well for his style. But I'm excited to see where the series goes. I'm still not attached to all the side characters. It's hard to tell some of them apart. Commander McKeon is the one I connect to the most from the first book, and he has some to do here, but not a lot. And then some of the characters I started to get connected to died in this book, or were sent away, or just weren't there. So I didn't connect to the minor characters yet, but I think I will eventually. And I say that this series, I think, has the potential to be Dresden, but sci-fi. This isn't a mystery series, but Dresden had a bunch of standalones at the beginning, which are all kind of like pulpy, fun books in the genre. And then as he goes along, they get better. His writing style gets better. The plots get better. They get bigger in scope, and they get more connected, and they feel more like an ongoing series. That's where I believe this is going. So I'm hoping that's the case, because then I will for sure. I mean, I bought most of the books. I bought like 10 of the books, so I'm sticking with it for a while. But I hope it's good, because then I'll enjoy it more. But I'm enjoying it. It's not a favorite of my book of mine yet. It's not a favorite series of mine, but I'm still enjoying it. So if you've read this book and you enjoyed it, let me know. If you didn't like this book, let me know. Which is your favorite Honor Harrington book? Let me know all those thoughts down in the comments. And until next time, I'm Jonathan, and thank you for watching.